right? I'm not sure who requested this. It was either Joe, Cajabril, maybe both. But I know I got it from email. I've had it for ages, months. I've had this to do. I thought I ain't done Opie and Anthony in a while, so. But I'd like to look up who this matey is. I was just thinking, like, I don't know, some American politician, or do you know what I mean? But no. Bernie Goetz basically shot 4 black men on the subway, paralyzed one of them. They all lived, but paralyzed one of them. They found him guilty of one charge of carrying an unlicensed weapon. He got a year in prison and done 8 months. Now that was quite like to be dropped off the paralysing, and because he said that the boys was trying to rob him, so he just opened fire. But to do 8 months of a year, that's. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how it works. Maybe you have to do in America a minimum, but like normally you only do half of your time. Like he done, what? I ain't gonna be able to work out that percentage. But yeah, he done more than you'd think. Maybe I don't know. But maybe he was selling drugs in there or something. I mean, look at him. But yeah, so that's kind of mental anyway. I like literally read it. It's like the first paragraph on Wikipedia about him, and yeah, it's pretty mental. But this is Opie and Anthony. Bernie goes after Opie. So yeah, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Goetz is ready. He's ready to come into the studio. Bernie, we'll have you come in after the break.
Wait, no, just...
wow, Bernie is prepared. Bernie's very prepared to do the news for the Opie and Anthony program. All right, Bernie, we don't want to give you the big intro yet. Just hold on a second.
Wait, it's
because we're gonna play this, then we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come back with Bernie. How's that sound?
Doesn't Bernie look exactly like he did back in the old
days?
Same
shirt.
You take care of yourself.
He wears the same effing shirt every time he comes in here.
You take care of yourself, though.
Well, what happens if you eat a healthy diet? And I don't
know
how you
vegetarian
guys
diet.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep. By the way, I brought some apples this morning.
You did?
Kind of apples.
Where are they? Who the hell's going to eat an apple from Bernie Goetz?
I would.
They're good ones.
What if it might have acid on it? You said it's a good thing, right? Okay, or you could, right? Where's the apples?
Sure.
All right, yeah, go get the apples. I'm going to play this, Anthony.
All right.
I really want to just take a break here. Bernie, oh, Jesus. All right, listen to this.
I hope they're hard and crispy and not soft and pliable like KB's legs.
That's the one,
The Subway Vigilante is back in the studio.
Atrophied apples with little shoes just hanging off them, uncuffed, unscuffed.
Not a mark on the bottom of them.
Thank you.
It's a Macintosh.
I'm allergic to apples.
I can already see where this is going. Yeah, I couldn't pronounce that when I read it. It's Daryl. I thought it was Daryl Cabby or KB. Daryl KB. Did he say KB? I think it is KB. But yeah, I can already see where this is going straight away.
I don't eat apples,
I swear to God.
Bananas.
No, Bernie, I swear to God, I'm allergic to apples. I cannot bite into that.
Wow. Who wants one? The last person. You want one or
you want one? These look like...
These are Fuji's.
These look like... I think they're called organic apples.
Deli downstairs?
Fuji's.
No, these are not organic apples, but these are Fuji apples from the Korean deli downstairs.
Fuji.
Are these going to be mealy? I hate a mealy apple.
From the Korean deli downstairs?
Yes, they have the best apples in
Where the hell is it?
There you go. I feel sorry for your mother.
Including the...
Where the hell is the Korean deli?
No, by Bernie's place.
Oh, by Bernie's place.
And the human race. My sister said she felt sorry for everyone born in Russia in the past 300 years.
Who doesn't? Who hasn't thought of that, like, every day?
My heart is cold.
Yeah.
Your heart is cold as Russia.
This tastes almost like a pear apple. It's very good. It's got a nice flavor.
Yeah. Well, they're sweet. They're sweet. The best apples I had was out somewhere in Colorado once.
Really?
They tasted like cherries. But these are about the best apples in
Maybe
the
they
world.
were cherries, Bernie.
Yeah. These little teeny red apples with stems in my ice cream.
Yeah. By the way, there's no real good news going on today.
A little slow.
What I want to talk about is possible bombings in Iraq and then the gates in Central Park.
That's fine.
Corny, artsy-fartsy thing
This
called
is
the
a
gates.
tease.
All right.
This is the news tease.
All right.
Well, whatever. You guys
See,
do your
for real,
stuff and tell me when you want.
We got to take a break, but when we come back, Bernie, We'll talk to you a little and then get into some news.
Okay,
How about
or
that?
whatever, and then you can throw me out. How long am I going to be here?
You are
half an
welcome
hour?
as long as you want.
As long
I
as
like
I
the
behave.
Bernie.
Yeah, we love the Bernie Goetz visit. So,
Oh.
And we're back with the Opie and Anthony program. In studio, Bernie Goetz, the subway vigilante. Shot 5 poor black guys on the subway.
5?
4. Oh.
4.
Oh, then that did make sense in that promo.
Sure.
Yeah, but the guy had 5 guys coming at that particular person.
Yeah.
And then shot 4.
No, it was 4 guys.
He did say 4 in that promo? No, I'm talking about the Ramon promo, because that's what confused me before.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's too complicated now.
It's a group. It doesn't matter how many there are. What
Right.
you do is, if there's a group, you get as many as you can as quickly as you can, and
To Bernie, it was one entity walking up to him.
Yeah, because they weren't human in his eyes.
Well,
They were just a massive black heading toward him.
Wait a second. What's the most?
A big black cloud.
What is the most? You know what? The most dangerous animal on the planet walks on 2 legs.
Ah.
That's right. It lives above a certain street.
It lives above 100th Street, Bernie.
Jesus.
No.
I thought you meant the Tyrannosaurus
Oh,
Rex.
my God.
No, you ask
You didn't
the
give
other.
me a time frame.
If the other animals could speak on the planet, you ask them what the most dangerous animal is.
Really? Do you think...
The elephants can run at the sight of a person? They can run 1,000 yards away. Many of them. Some might not.
Don't you think like a big grouper would say a shark is the most dangerous?
For it in its reality.
Yeah. So I don't think every animal would say that 2-legged.
Yeah, I think a
Man.
mouse.
Okay, but
I think a mouse is scared of a cat.
The world has land and sea. On land. Okay, you're right. The sea is not our domain.
Yeah.
But on land, what is the most dangerous
You think
animal?
a zebra in the Serengeti thinks, yeah, man's really kicking my ass, instead of that lion that's sinking its teeth into its throat?
The animals in nature, most of them are afraid of everything.
Well,
Everything.
that's true.
How about aphids? They're afraid of ladybugs.
Really?
Yes.
Fly away home.
Ladybugs eat them.
Oh, how
Now,
about
speaking of fear,
And
Yeah.
squirrels are scared of Bernie's fingers.
well, and anybody's fingers. In terms of fear,
Sure.
they're trying to play a fear game in Iraq, and I want to talk about Iraq. Where
Hold on, Bernie.
This is the news segment.
Yeah, this is the get to know portion of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know,
We like reintroducing you to our listeners every time you come in.
Okay.
Kind of nice, you know. And
Okay.
Opie gave him the big intro that it's the subway vigilante. You might remember back what year? 19.
That was very end of '84.
84.
Anyway, yeah. Now I think you can change the world not by law and order type of things, but by mankind should generally become vegetarian.
Vegetarian. You hold so much to vegetarianism. You believe vegetarianism is a way of not only to change your health and stuff, but actually change the world.
It will change the relationship of animals on the planet. You have a relationship with. Well, right now around us, there are no animals around, and they're afraid. Many of them would be a nuisance, but the rest would be afraid of us. You can have a relationship with a machine, with a console, but that's not alive. So your relationships are with real relationships can be with other people and with other animals. Many people have better relationships with animals than people, but it would make the world a kinder, gentler place.
Kinder and gentler.
He's right, because over in the Middle East, they eat like a lot of...
This guy does not sound like the type. This is why you should never judge a book by its cover, because he does not sound like the type of person to, one, carry an unlicensed firearm, and 2, shoot 4 black men with it. Do you know what I mean? You would not think that in a million years by listening to his voice. But when he said the thing about the most dangerous animal, yeah, the double on that was ridiculous.
And they eat like all pita bread, and they're very nice to each other over there.
Well,
those savages haven't eaten a steak in 14 centuries. All they do is bomb each other.
No.
Bernie, comment?
The Middle East imports a great deal of lamb from Australia.
Lamb,
and
the
on my
dreaded
website,
lamb.
Well, yes, but you know what they do is they grow these sheep for 5 years, and their wool-bearing years, and at the end of their wool-bearing years, they are shipped under miserable conditions around the world, and then like they might slaughter them individually in countries like that where you buy a whole sheep or goat at one time, or they go to places where they make them into sausages or whatever they do.
And if we weren't doing this, it would be a better world somehow.
Definitely, if we would treat the animals better, and we'd be healthier. We'd feel better about ourselves. It would save our soul. We would have more respect for ourselves, mankind.
I don't know. I kind of like an occasional burger, Bernie. I don't know what to tell you.
Taste. There's absolutely right. It might for most people they will never.
You're talking sacrifice there.
Restraint, yes, restraint. But which would you rather have? Would you rather have a world with more love in it, or would you rather have something?
Let me think.
You know,
love. Big juicy burger. Yeah, big juicy burger. I'm going to opt for big juicy burger.
Me too, because you can always hold some hamburger meat and fuck it.
Okay, that's the attitude. You see, you don't know love in the world. Love is a rare thing. Should not be. There's probably more love in the animal world than there is in the people world. Yeah, there is.
Yeah? You think?
Like lions with their young?
Absolutely.
They're very nurturing.
Got to be. They'd never survive if it wasn't for their...
Bernie, you have a very dismal outlook on humanity itself.
No, I'm in a long-term... the only thing that can change this world is mankind. Suppose all the squirrels get together and they say, we want to change the world, or we want to do things differently.
If that happened, I would go, ah!
But no, they
couldn't.
That
would freak me out, Bernie.
They couldn't. If the spiders decided, if the squirrels decided,
Scarier.
if the birds, the fish, nothing would happen. There's only one creature. There's only, like the Bible says, we have dominion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we ready for the news?
I'm thinking your outlook. You have these plans that are not really plans, but you have these visions that if certain things change, the world would be a better place.
Definitely.
But what I'm saying is your outlook with the way things are now is kind of dismal and dark. You really don't have many good things to say about humanity and humans now.
No. Mankind's civilization is a wonderful thing. The technology, the power we have is an incredible thing. How that power is directed. Mankind and what you'd call, quote, civilization, it's a little bit, it's almost like a tidal wave. It's really lacking direction. Mm-hmm. And I think mankind should be more like the River Nile, flowing in and out, doing things, making the world a better. Mankind could make the world a much better place, and in some ways, mankind's made a much better world for itself so far.
Well, you connect vegetarianism to being kind of peaceful, and I want to ask you about vegetarianism is peaceful, but a lot of people have been saying that, like, if people are going to be vegetarians, well then, that's just what's going to be like, the way it is,
No, mankind needs a heart. People don't even, like, in terms of having a heart. We don't. The world works on mechanics and money a lot. And that's one thing. And it should try to do that well. But what it does with that power is important.
Very good.
All right, very good. Are we ready for the news with Bernie Guest?
Absolutely. Good for the. We're ready for the news.
All right, Bernie, let me...
News?
Yeah, let me get you a little teletype here.
Oh, look at that.
And now with the news, the Subway Vigilante.
Bernie Guest.
Okay.
Bernie.
Too loud
to you? Yeah, that is really loud.
What's loud? Bernie?
Hey, wait a second. Can you turn that racket off?
Yeah.
That sounds like a broken machine.
Doesn't it?
I don't want to talk over that thing. Just get rid of it. We can talk about things in the news that are important, things that affect our lives now.
But you got to do it in a format of a newscast like you would see on TV or hear on the radio, Bernie.
I'm going to talk about news stories like some people talk about on the radio, and I'm going to talk about the gates in Central Park, and then first about Iraq.
All right, let's go.
Because in terms of
terms
of what's on the news right now, in terms of all the papers, not much is happening. There's almost no news.
All right.
So for my news sources, I bought the Inquirer and the Weekly World News.
Weekly World News.
Absolutely, and those great stories will have to come later.
That boy.
First, we're going to talk about Iraq.
All right. Bernie Guest with the news, Anthony.
Now,
the Subway Vigilante.
Now, wait a second. That's too much. I can't deal. Opie, I can't deal with it. Wait.
You're freaking him out.
That's exactly right.
What happened?
Well, okay, now if you...
Sounds like the chattering of a Negro's teeth on the subway.
Make it even a little softer, Opie, and it will go on with us. Otherwise, we're going to take a vote to have you tied to your chair.
Right.
Remember, we can do that. Always keep that in the back of your mind. We can have you tied to your chair, and it's already been arranged. If you keep on messing, he's asking for trouble.
I think you're shooting, Bernie.
No. Wait a second. Just so you understand the arrangement, Opie. I don't know if you heard about it. Okay, wait. The security guy out there, Opie, he could, if he wanted, he could probably kill everyone in this room in about 1 to 1.5 minutes, and no one would stop them. Maybe if we could act in concert.
You know what that sound could not possibly be, Bernie? Daryl Cabey tap dancing.
It sounds like a broken manure spreader.
Somebody was moving his legs like a marionette.
It could.
I'm so glad I looked up who this matey was, and that Daryl KB got mentioned in the I literally read about 8 lines about it. I'm so glad that I know who that is, so I can get these jokes. I saw you shooting, Bernie. That
Be Bob Dylan singing. It could not be a lot of things.
Could not be a lot of things. Very good.
All right, go ahead. Bernie gets with the news, everyone.
Opie. Okay, now, Opie, here's the arrangement. So you turn it down. That security guy, he could wipe anybody on the floor here. If you act up,
all right, I'll turn it down.
Yeah, he will. And if people vote unanimously, he's going to tie you to your chair. Right. And everyone will laugh, and he's not going to hurt you. But everyone
I'll turn it down.
Master
Let's
Poe
go.
out
Good.
there.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. But anyway, there's a couple things going on. One story that people always see in the papers lately is about bombings in Iraq. There's a political campaign. And by the way, that political campaign, the people who are doing it, the so-called insurgents, they're losing. It's a public disaster.
Oh, really?
Public disaster. People say, oh, it's a terrible thing going on here. People hear about it here. But now, 20 years ago in New York, so people understand it. In terms of numbers, like 100 people, I think, were killed yesterday.
115.
It's not that big of a deal. Even if the average per day. Yeah, it's not.
It's 115 lives.
Absolutely, but I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, hold on.
Because per year.
Let me turn this off somehow.
They don't even kill 10 per year. 10 per day. On an average, they don't even kill 10 per day.
On an average.
But not okay. But if
you're saying they really got to pick it up?
Well, no. You understand? Pick it up. They can't pick it up enough.
No.
In terms of populations, you can knock out 10% of a population, and you only get it mad if they kill 10,000 a year. And let's say it's all Shiites. There's over 10 million Shiites. That is only 1 in 1,000. In New York City, to put it in relation to crime rates in New York City, 20 years ago in New York City, 2,500 people were murdered. 500 of them were family acquaintances.
Could have been 2,504, but somebody didn't have
2,496.
I'm talking math and a numbers game here, and dealing with beehives and making people angry and political failures. If roughly 4 people a day to 5 people a day, usually 5 people a day, were just murdered on the streets. Now, you know the trouble people would have on the streets in terms of being accosted, threatened, muggings, this and that.
Sure.
But actually, yeah, right. 5 people a day were being killed on the streets and that stuff. There was one person, which was family on family. That crime rate hasn't gone down. The stuff about street crime has dropped 99%. Your chance of being killed on the street is way, way down. And
Bernie's
with
got
that,
a lot to do with that.
Nobody
coming up asking for $5 anymore.
Okay, but you see, when you have 5 people a day being killed on the street, that's only about 2,000 a year, and that made people a little bit mad.
A little bit mad.
A little bit mad. Not a whole bunch, because people were being continually threatened.
Is this your newscast, Bernie?
Yes, it is. Now in Iraq, we're getting to the numbers.
Sure.
We're getting to the numbers in Iraq. In Iraq, if they kill 10,000 a year, that's significantly more than 2,000 a year on the streets.
Like five times.
5 times.
8,000 more.
But you still have 999 out of 1,000 people living. But remember, people aren't being threatened by these people continually, like they were in the past.
I carry the 3.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying, if you kill 1 in 1,000 people, you just make them mad.
Right.
You don't terrorize them.
That's 1/10 of 1%.
Even if you kill 1%, you just make them mad. It's like going to a beehive.
So I understand.
These things
You're
are
saying
political.
The insurgents, what they're doing, it's not really effective like they would like.
It's a political system, and it can even be prevented. And
to summarize,
it can be
people die in Iraq. No big deal.
No big
deal. No. There is a solution. There is a solution to a great deal of this stuff.
All right.
And that is. You need that's in the long run. You get bomb proofing. With bomb proofing, you need barriers and cells. Bomb proofing. Now, there's 2 types of bombs. People carry bombs, and you can put bombs in cars and trucks. If you have all waiting areas.
You ever hear of the dreaded Munaki bomb? It's a roadside bomb.
You can tell.
When you drive by, you hear unfunny stuff and your car explodes.
Okay, now.
And a little piece of it falls off the right side.
All waiting areas need bomb protection. Here's how it is simply and cheaply done.
Yeah.
You have barriers on the outside to the streets, just a barrier, a wall, so they can't get you with car bombs, truck bombs, a crowd that is waiting. And then in the waiting areas, you need little cell areas where people are separated in areas no more than 10 per an area. It doesn't have to be a closed room, just little walls separating. There can be benches.
12 come up, can you put them in if it's a 10-person area?
10, 12,
15
whatever.
maybe.
You've seating.
I say.
But if you separate the people, a person carrying a bomb can kill no more than 10.
Bernie, are you stealing this idea from Israel?
No,
I saw the wall that they were building on the side of the road in Israel.
If one of the things they say that these insurgents are truly worried about, that once the Iraqi government takes power, that they will ruthlessly suppress the insurgents. And if they use the same techniques as Israel, that's fine with me and the rest of the world.
I think
so. But bombs can go off anywhere there, in any government waiting area, in police waiting areas, if people are applying for jobs, and in churches. They may have to have in front of their churches or mosques.
B-52s full of soy milk that can strafe the crowd, raining wonderful soy milk on them, and they'll be all peaceful.
That's the right message. I don't think that
that's the right message.
I don't think we should have commerce in meat and live animals or meat between nations. You don't even know the rules that are coming. No, I don't.
You shouldn't be able to trade in meat.
I think it's bad. You don't know the background. I think it's
you get the mad cow disease. Right?
Well, yeah.
What do you think of the mad cow disease? Pretty nasty stuff.
Well, it's not my problem. I don't.
You never heard of mad broccoli, right?
This is right.
Yeah.
Even though you can if there's crud and smeary stuff on broccoli, it can make you very sick.
But that's more perturbed.
Right, than actually mad.
So why don't we move on to the next story?
Oh, yes.
All right, next story.
Other stories, and this is before we get on to the weekly world news.
All right. Okay. It's so loud.
That's fine. It's when we added to the newscast.
Yeah.
Okay. Put it further down, please.
Please, Opie. Please.
The gates in Central Park are falling down.
What, Bernie?
What? The gates in Central Park are falling down.
Oh.
The gates are falling down, yes.
The gates are falling.
Okay, now, something I normally wouldn't care for, but they had this thing, these great big orange gates all around Central Park. For the past 2 weeks.
Really?
I guess you missed it. Yeah. Okay, I went there.
You should have covered that on the news or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, they did have it on the news, and I think generally I wouldn't spend money on that. And I went up there and I saw it rather reluctantly. I was dragged up there one day by somebody. I normally never go north of 23rd Street. That's way up north.
That's a good practice to.
I had a rental car for a few hours that I wasn't paying for, so we drove up here and we parked it and we looked at it for an hour, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it cost $21 million or $20 million. To
go look at it?
No, that was free. Free. And they're in the process of tearing it down now. And I think they should keep it up at least a few more weeks.
Now what?
I don't know, I'm going to pause it there. She needs to go for a walk. All right, hold on 2 seconds. We'll be back with 10 more minutes. So yeah, let's go.
And because it would cost no more money to keep it up for a few weeks, I would not have put it there, but it would be good for people would like it. I think it would be good for tourism, and an easy way to keep it up there. They've already taken down a little bit of it. Is the mayor should just ask for a delay for a few days, and then ask the city council to vote. Ask the city council to vote if they want to keep it. A few weeks or a month.
You know it's going to take up to 2 weeks just to take it down, though.
Yep.
Well, what
they're not going to take it all down today. It's too big of a project. There's 7,500 gates.
They're leaving one gate up. People just to walk back and forth through anyway.
And the weather's bad. Now, I'm not saying keep it up permanently. I wouldn't like that. But it would be great as a tourist attraction. The mayor could, if just the mayor asked, say, the weather's so bad, temporarily stop demolition for a couple days. And let the city council vote on it. And if the city council overwhelmingly votes, let's keep it a couple more weeks or keep it through March.
Isn't it really Christo's whole idea? Well, shouldn't he have some say if his work of art stays up long?
Well, his agreement was to take it down. Now, I myself, I didn't care for it that much, but I saw lots of people liked it. It's a big game thing for adults. Like the space is about 7 feet high. You can walk under, so adults can walk over it, and I think. that women actually may see colors differently than people
really?
relate to the world. I think than guys, and like someone
black and blue in the mirror when they don't listen.
There'd be less of that if there was more vegetarianism.
That's right.
Less domestic abuse.
Yes, less.
Because they can't answer back when they're chomping on carrots.
There'd be less bullying in the schools. You know?
A lot of people have said that's not true, though. I've gotten emails of people who are saying that bullying is attributed because of vegetarianism is a totally different issue.
No, you would find that generally the vegetarian kids would be bullies to a much lesser degree than the than the non-vegetarians.
That's because they'd be a little slimmer though and geekier maybe.
Also in
than
terms
the fatter, more robust bullies that are eating beef and protein and getting all bulked up.
They would look better. But you need real real soy substitutes.
Let's get back to the hold on. Let's get back. Keep them on track. Let's go back to the color thing.
I will say one thing about vegetarianism, and that I see it. Some woman made her baby vegetarian, and it basically died at like 2 from being malnourished. She went to prison for it. So being vegetarian, like, we're omnivores, we are meant to eat food. Sorry to make a like actual point in this, but yeah. If being vegetarian gives you everything you need, how comes it killed a baby? That don't sound like saying, like, do you know what I mean? You need a balance. We're omnivores. But anyway, sorry.
Women see colors differently?
I think they see colors a little bit differently and can get joy out of colors and things like that a little more differently. It did add a lot of color to the park. In a few cities here, a few of the buildings around the park need a cleaning. That became, I became aware of that. Also, the snow, by the way, has been quite clean in New York City the past several years. The air is cleaner.
Yeah, but anyway, the big piles of sooty snow on the side of the road. I think you're right.
Right. So the city is getting better. People were willing to live in the city 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when it was grimy and the air was much dirtier. So there's a lot to be said for the city, even though the city is colder. It's more mechanical. It's too money ties up everything. Now that it's become a more desirable place to live, it takes money to be almost anywhere in this city.
Well,
unfortunately,
that's just the way of the world, and there's nothing we can really do to change.
Well, yes, there is.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
Hand out carrots.
More good. That's part of that, but more good building is needed. They need the World Trade Center site needs to be rebuilt differently than the official plans. As a matter of fact, that may be the official plans. Maybe on the way out. Maybe there'll be better plans.
Have you heard that?
Well, there's little buzzes going.
It's not a squirrel telling you.
There might be.
Right?
There might be things in the Wall Street Journal. If people want to see a good plan, can I plug a website, not my own?
Bullet.com.
Okay. It's. I'll say it and then I'll spell it. It's all words. Make NY.
There's so many doubles going on in this. It's unreal. Like when he said, "Females see colors." You just think of him meaning black people. Well, I did. I can't help but think of things like that he's saying as race things, but then the double on Jim Norton saying because that's his website, isn't it? eatabullet.com, but he shot 4 people. The doubles in this are ridiculous. I'm so glad I read that little bit of who he is, like, because I don't even know if a lot of these jokes are intentional or you're like, do you know what I mean? You're listening to it because it's him. Also, he sounds like a cartoon character, and I can't put my finger on like what cartoon character. He also sounds a bit like Bobo. Like, he's got that kind of vibe about him. The way he just plows and pings from one thing to the next, and yeah.
Again.com. It's the word make, M-A-K-E.
Make New York again.
Yes, but okay,
make
N-E-W-Y-O-R-K.
No, don't spell out. No, don't spell out New York. Make N-Y-N-Y.
Well, N-Y is
again.
New York, though. So
that's what it stands for. But
make N-E-W-Y-O-R-K.
Gag him.
Nice. Okay, I'll do it right.
Anyway,
make NYC again.
Not the C.
Hang both these guys.
N-Y.
Oh, strangle them.
And why? Because he asked me for money.
Okay, yeah. Make NY. NY, NY again.
Make space NY, comma, NY.
And you can see the official project
More
on there and another project. Yeah. And as for this bullying stuff in the school.
Wait, is this your next news story?
And death penalty and stuff like that. I talked to a liberal girl, and she told me once about. She said her opinion of the general subject. She said most of the trouble is caused by a particular sex, and it shows at an early age. So let the women decide.
What does that mean, Bernie?
I know what he means.
He knows what it means.
Know what it means.
He knows what it means. I'm talking about.
I don't need the 10-minute explanation. Trust me, I know what it means.
Tell him what it means.
No, come on.
It's how the Romans dealt with troublemakers.
Gave them war helmets.
What?
The Romans?
The Romans, yeah. The Romans were the parents would kill their own kids.
All right.
But they had good ones, too, and they loved them.
All right.
Well, lie down.
Anyway.
On to the next one, bro.
So I think it's important that we should try to keep those gates for a while. It would cost no more money. It would be a good, positive thing. And because many people would like it.
Do the squirrels in the park seem to be upset by the gates, or do they enjoy it?
It's winter times. The lifetime of squirrels, the small squirrels that survive in the north, all live underground, but with the exception of birds, and the squirrel is a mammal that lives in a tree.
So you will not see squirrels in the winter?
30% of them die. Their cause of death is in the winter.
That's very sad.
It's very tough on them. So that they stay indoors.
Their version of indoors, which is what, underground?
What?
Squirrels?
No, in the trees. And it gets very cold in the trees. Once you get about 60 inches underground or a few feet underground, the temperature is always about 60 degrees even in the wintertime. So the rats in the city, they don't go through what the squirrels go through. There's a totally different lifestyle.
There's almost like a squirrel holocaust going on in the winter.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of dead squirrels.
Absolutely.
So why does squirrels just go underground?
Makes Iraq look like a picnic.
Why don't they just go underground where it's warmer?
Squirrels.
Because they go up in the trees. For them, safety is the trees. Safety and security is the trees.
But if they're going to freeze, what I'm saying is why don't they just adapt?
Well, for starters, in New York, there are rats underground. In a fight between a rat and a squirrel, the rat always kills the squirrel.
Why would they fight?
Really?
Yes.
Why would they fight?
They just because the rats are willing to eat the squirrels. The rats.
Let's say the squirrel had a little revolver and actually fired at the rats. Could he possibly get away?
Absolutely.
Four rats came up and asked him for nuts.
with a revolver, a squirrel could.
Are the black squirrels tougher?
Right.
No, probably the most aggressive are the red squirrels.
Better dead than red squirrel.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
In music news, in other news...
Hold on, I got music news.
There ain't no music news, so you can play some music, because, who cares if Hujah Babu is, he's dating this girlfriend seen on the beach with a bikini.
Yeah, who cares,
and somebody, right. And
you listen to the rap music?
And he died of an overdose in his bathtub.
Who cares?
And who cares?
Yeah.
But in honor of these people who died last night, why don't we play some music?
Who died last night?
Some of that music we had there. Or you want to BS some more?
Who died?
Nobody. Oh. I don't pay any attention to that stuff.
Not the rappers and stuff, right? You listen to rap music?
None of them.
No? Yeah, you hear what happened in Hot 97?
Nope. Don't. What?
There was a shooting at the hip-hop station, Hot 97.
So what?
So what?
So what?
It seems that there's this rivalry between a couple of rappers.
How many people died? Sounds like a news story.
One guy got shot in the leg, and he's in stable condition.
Wow.
Should have shot him. Should have walked up and said, "You don't look so bad," and shot him again.
I'm more concerned about the animals that were washed out to sea by the tsunami a month ago.
The animals?
That's right.
That's not nice calling the fine people of Phuket animals.
Look, so somebody shoots somebody in the leg over an argument. Who cares? Who cares? I got the Weekly World News.
It was the bodyguard of 50 Cent, though.
You know who 50 Cent is?
Nope.
He's a rapper.
Nope. I can make two telephone calls with him.
With 50 Cent.
Right.
This is him playing right now.
You like this?
I think in this, all this music, the black music has become lost in the past 20 years or so. It used to be melodical about love. Blacks were known for good music. This is all like aggression music about, tough music.
Right.
I got my 45 loaded, my Uzi here, and all that kind of
Bernie rap.
BS. No, that's BS.
You know what this song needs?
No.
No gunfire.
You want to play some decent music? Play a cut of that stuff that I brought here. Why do you play one of those cuts? It's a totally different thing.
I honestly don't have.
Oh yeah, wait a second.
Give it to him. No, you got to put it right here. It's right by you. Put it in the thing.
Oh yeah, give me your music.
Yeah, that's your music.
Oh, you brought in music? You burned it yourself?
No, that's an old thing. It shouldn't skip. Just play cut one of them.
The house next door got
a minute.
Well, the house next door got.
Wait.
Do you burn discs at home at all? CDs?
I never listen to music.
Never?
But I might start again.
I'd look into that. Music is soothing.
Yeah.
It's calming.
What is this, Bernie?
Enya?
I don't know. This is a minute and a half.
A minute and a half.
Just be quiet.
Just be quiet?
Yeah, why not?
You want us just to meditate?
Be quiet, Opie.
I'm trying to hear this, Opie. You can't talk through it.
Let's all just meditate.
I'm trying to hear this. I'm trying to hear it.
Hey, I didn't get one from you.
I like it. When does it kick in, Bernie?
Yeah.
Does it kick in?
It's meditation music, Anthony. Bernie makes love to squirrels.
This is nice music to lay on a table and be jerked off by another man to.
I don't think so. It's soothing and calming.
Bernie shoots.
You know what's.
All right, here it comes. No. Wow.
We're almost done with our meditation session with Bernie Goetz.
Bernie, what is this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He says, I don't know.
It is relaxing.
Yeah. This is where you lay on the bed and kind of picture yourself on a beach.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can. And if you're lying on a beach stoned, you got to watch out because you can just get so into it being warm, you can get sunburned to a crisp.
Really?
You can, right? Especially if you put oil on you and you don't turn over and you spend too much time in the sun.
Oh,
it can certainly be a problem if you're fair-skinned, because I'm fair-skinned.
Yeah, if you
I'm known to burn.
Yeah, a good idea is to smear yourself up all with that lotion.
I'm Irish.
Maybe
people
have
always
a little
burn very easily.
Just sitting in the sun. It's real mellow. It's
You want to keep yourself as white as possible.
It's
right.
Especially if you're living in New York City, right, Bernie?
No, and then and then also jumping in the ocean. That salt water really cleans you out.
Oh, really?
It cleans the outside. Doesn't clean your inside.
Thank you, Captain.
No.
You can't drink it.
For the inside, you got to go vegetarian.
As Bernie gets his next news story together, Anthony, I think he's doing the news.
I don't know.
Here's another selection that Bernie brought in
you
today.
brought another song in, Bernie?
All right.
Pause it there. This is mental. He's off his head. He don't know what's going on. Whatever was that thing he just prayed. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, the rest of this. He's got to be on the spectrum. Because it sounds like Bobo. It's very similar. And he's not even one of their freaks. He's he is a person that shot someone on a... Do you know what I mean? That's quite a mental guess to get anyway. And to kind of have on to muck about. I was thinking as well, you ain't heard Bill Burr yet. I guess he, yeah. I guess, he must just come in later. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that's part one. Sweet.